Welcome back to another puzzle grind video. Right now our puzzle rating is 1687. Right now we're playing as black and we have a queen, a bishop, and a knight, and our opponent has a queen and a rook. We're currently in check, but we can just take their queen. So that was an easy one. They started us off easy. Black to move, we have a queen and a bishop. Our opponent has a queen, a bishop, and a knight. First thing I'm seeing is check right here. And they'll have to go here. Almost checkmate. Let's see, let's look into this. Doesn't look like they can put us in checkmate at any point soon, so I think we can. We don't have to do a forcing move. Let's see, even if he does this, and we go here. Or here. His king hasn't escaped g3. That's a problem. We don't have many pieces to play with. I mean, obviously, if we did this, queen to d1, we would hope he would go queen e1, and then we would just take, and then it'd be checkmate, but that's not going to happen. He's going to go here, f2, king to f2. No matter what we do here, I mean, he runs to king g3. Because he can't take back, because our queen would be protected by the bishop. That, however, would be checkmate, wouldn't it? So queen d1. Let's see. Queen d1. King f2. Queen e2. King g3. King e3. Queen e3. Got that mixed up. Checkmate. Yeah, because this pawn right here. Alright, white to move. We have a queen, a rook, a bishop, and two knights. Our opponent has a queen, two rooks, two knights, and a bishop. We have a great near checkmate right here, but his knight can take. So we just take his knight first. That's easy. Checkmate. I should have looked further in depth to see if he had a checkmate on me or something, but it worked out. We have a queen, two rooks as white, and a bishop and a knight. And our opponent has a queen, two rooks, bishop, and a knight as well. In this position, we're probably looking for something like just winning material. Which is not always the easiest. We could win the knight pretty easily just by going to queen a4, because it's looking at the king. He has to do something. He either goes here, or he blocks. But if he blocks, we just take the pawn. Nothing else can attack the queen, so he has to do one of those two things anyways, and then we win the knight. Why not win the knight? Nice. Okay, white to move. We have one rook, 2 knights, and 2 bishops. Our opponent has 1 rook, 2 bishops, and a knight. I see bishop h6, and then he has to go, well, it'll be checkmate, because he'll have to go g8, and then we got rook to e8. It was easy enough. White to move. We have a rook, and our opponent has a rook and a bishop. We don't want to give this up. We don't want to give up our rook. So we have a little bit of time. We have a little bit of time. I mean, the most forcing move to me so far does seem to be we just take his bishop. And maybe we can get our pawn and our king up. But that seems unlikely. He'll probably force something with his rook, and then our king has to depart. And the pawn probably gets taken, but let's calculate it. Sacrifice rook on f6. Whoops. His pawn takes, and then we take the pawn. His rook can't actually get to us right away, so he promotes. Ooh, that'd be a queen and a rook game. That doesn't seem right, unless we have a quick checkmate after this. Once our king is up here, we can go 1, and then we're done for. So that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't see what else to do, honestly. That's a really... Unless we threaten checkmate the long way. That does threaten checkmate. Unless... Oh yeah, he can't go up here, he's trapped. So this... What does he do to prevent it? I mean, he can't... What, is he going to promote? Or let's take it. So I think rook c8 is the answer, yeah. And then just like I thought he might do, he does that. And then we just do checkmate. Yeah. That's great. Black to move, we have a rook and 2 bishops. Our opponent has a rook, a bishop, and a knight. With this kind of situation, we might be able to do checkmate. Oops. Might be as simple as putting our rook on f8 and then up 1. I don't think he really has anything. Ooh, I didn't see this. What can we do here? Can we fork any pieces? I don't see a fork. At the end of the day, he loses a knight, right? Okay. We were able to win a knight. Because otherwise we were threatening checkmate, so he had to do that. And we won a knight. That works. White to move. We have a queen 2 rooks, and 2 knights. Our opponent has a queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, and 2 bishops. Pawn's in the way of a probably pretty easy checkmate. But the pawn won't be in the way after long, because this is threatening checkmate when we put our knight here. He can't take his knight there because he's pinned, and so he has to take with the bishop to prevent checkmate, but then it's checkmate anyways because we actually get that pawn out of the way. So knight to g5 is the big answer here. Ooh, and of course, well, we just take his queen. A valiant effort on his part. It was checkmate. White to move, we have queen, 2 rooks, a bishop, and a knight. Our opponent has a queen, 2 rooks, and 2 knights. This would look like checkmate, but he's got the problem knight here. This looks pretty good, but then he takes... Overall, this is looking pretty good for us. It's definitely a puzzle. So I'm wondering, what do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the knight. How do I get rid of the knight? That doesn't get rid of the knight. He's not really threatening checkmate. So I think we have time to do one non-forcing move that doesn't put his king in check. If we do this, it's not good enough. Well, it's actually pretty good, I guess, because it puts him in check the next turn and gets his knight. But why would we do that? I mean, the hope is he would do this. Why would we hope for that? I guess we would hope for this, because he wouldn't be able to take, so he'd have to go here. I don't see checkmate anyways. I mean, we can sacrifice the knight. That would be sacrificing 2 pieces, though. Get the rook in. That's checkmate. But can that happen? Let's see. What would go first, the knight or the bishop? I guess try the knight. Oh, but the queen is defending, so that wouldn't work, would it? Let's see. What do we have? Queen, or bishop, rook takes, knight take. Even the king can jump in there, so that doesn't work. We could take this rook, and then he could take with this rook, which would be perfectly fine with me, because then we actually no, I would hope he'd take with the knight. Take the rook, hope he takes for the knight. Takes with the knight, and then that would be checkmate because we would just go here. Well, why wouldn't? So he would probably just take with the rook. Then I guess we win the queen, because when he takes with that rook, we go here. And then he has to either move the king, which is checkmate, or he loses the queen. I think that's our game plan here. We're going to take the rook. Yeah, and then we're going to put him in check. So it's a forcing move, so he has to either move and get checkmated or lose the queen. And now, just to be sure, let's not make any hasty decisions. Okay, we take the queen with the knight. There we go. White to move. We have a queen and 2 rooks and knight. Our opponent has 2 rooks, 2 knights, and 2 bishops. This is looking like checkmate to me. Not really, because he has this out. Next move is checkmate, so for us, so we have to do something forcing. We have to do a forcing move. The only forcing moves we have are rook h8 or rook g7. And if it's rook h8, it forces the king over here, which, no, he can't do that. Oh, it's right, so it would go here. That would be so close to a checkmate. What if... it's... we have another rook, and we might be able to use it. So... if we go here, he just takes, and then that would be good, but same kind of issue. Well, we actually get rid of a big attacker here. But then his king starts going over here. We don't want his king getting free. Because then they can just start running like... well, they could go there. They could start running like crazy, possibly. And he has a good defender. A couple good defenders there, so we don't want him getting there. We don't want him getting to... now, if he went down here, that would be a little better, because then he's kind of trapped. He can't go over here because of the pawns and stuff like that. So if the king goes down and then... oops. If the king goes down and then here, that would be okay. So, like, if we took with this, I'd actually be okay with some of that. But even if we took with this, he could still go here. If we take with this... he can't go there, and that's a bad square for us. We don't want him there. He can't go there, so he has to take with this. So rook h8, he takes with bishop, and then we can go here, but then he gets to that square we don't want him at. We could put him in check if he were here, but I don't like that either. Yeah, it doesn't work. He's got so many options. Oh, that's checkmate, though, if we could do queen. So if we took with the rook, king comes down, rook comes up there, that's checkmate. I think that's the idea. Let's calculate a little bit more. Rook takes bishop on g7. The bishop just isn't even there. It's gone. He takes with the king. We go queen h7, which is defended by the knight. It's a beautiful thing. He has to go either here or here. And once we go queen, which is also defended by the knight, queen f7. That's checkmate for him, right? No, because he could take our knight. We would want him to be up. We don't want him going there. That would be bad, after all. Because he could take our knight. In which case, we could draw our knight down, but then he can go back up to our queen. Or could he? Wait. Where would our queen be? Hang on a second. Let's see. Takes, 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 takes. Oh, okay, no, he'd be in check. He'd be fine. He's in check. He can't go here. He can't go here. He can go here. So hang on. This is a complicated puzzle if this is the way. Takes. Goes down. Knight comes down. And then he can't go here. He can't go here. He can't go here because the pawn. That's why the pawns are there probably. He couldn't go anywhere up because of the queen. And then he could just go here. Of course, he couldn't stay there, so he could be here. So the king would be here, our queen would be here, and our knight would be here. King would be here again. So then that's all forced, right? So queen could go down and take this pawn. But then king can start escaping going up. What if we just pushed? Because he can't go here. He'd be in check. And he can't take it. Yeah, that's the way. Okay, so rook takes bishop g7. King takes. It's forced. We got to remember this whole thing is all forced because he can just do checkmate right there. Not so much. Never mind. But I think this is still the way. So rook g7, king takes, queen h7. If king f8, we deliver checkmate with queen f7. So king doesn't go there. King goes f6. Knight drops back to e4, which really puts the king in a bind because it can't go to a lot of places. At that point, the king can only go here to e6, and then the queen, the queen just keeps this locked in, and we just push a pawn, which the king cannot take, and he's checkmated. Never mind, there's one area he can go, and that is down to the knight. So the idea is broken. But then if he could go down, can we do anything with the queen? That would be check again. But then he could just take the knights. So unfortunately, the king has a way. The king has a way. I've got to spend the time and see if I can get this right. Well, let's try this way again. He takes. Oh, right. That's all it was, right? So we put him in check. He takes with the bishop. We put our queen here. He has to go here. Checkmate. The simple. After all that. We did something pretty cool, though. That was pretty cool. We had a lot of, like, little things going on there. What are we in puzzles? We're, It won't even tell me. What status are we? We in gold? What is this? Wood? Won't tell me. Anyways, let's see. We have a rook and a pretty good pawn. Our opponent has a rook and also a pretty good pawn. So we are white to move. We can push. Seems to me to be the winning idea. Otherwise, we can just put him in check. which is actually just checkmate. So that's good. White to move. We have a queen and a rook. Our opponent has a queen and 2 rooks. This is check, almost checkmate. He has to go here because our rook is attacking that whole line. We go back here. He just goes back. We go here. Seems to be messed up. Queen b4. King has to go down. Or he can block with silly things, but then we just take his queen, so that wouldn't be good. King a8. Once the king is trapped here, do we sacrifice a rook? I don't think so. That would be terrible news. Do we just set up for a checkmate? That wouldn't even be checkmate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Let's not get crazy here. No, it doesn't work. Hang on. We already have a8 blocked off. Naturally, I wanted to segregate his king away from his pieces, but we might not be able to do that. What about rook b1? King can go here or here, because the queen is blocking off this diagonal. So now if his king was here, that would be checkmate. If his king went here. Oh, well, you know what? This seems like a lot easier. So here and then here. It's a ladder. It's almost a ladder, mates. We have rook b1. King goes either here or here. And then we have queen c4. That would be a ladder, mate, except he has this. Which puts us in trouble, because if we take, he takes. Now, if he went there, it would be, you know, game over for him. But if you went king c8, but if you know, king c7 is the problem. Now, if he did rook b1 and he did king c7, could we just go back here? And we're back in that same position that we're already in. How does this not work? How do we not have checkmate with a8? Because of that queen and the rook. Ah, let's see. What do we have? We have something. We have to have something. I think b7 must be the way to go. Rook b7. He goes here. Here's the more difficult one to figure up, so we're going to figure that. Queen goes somewhere like here. Actually, if he does block with the queen, we have another check here. I'd like to get this right. Whoa, that's a different situation, because that's all forced. He's checked here, then he has to go somewhere over here. We still can't take because of the rook. Darn. Maybe we just double up and then we deliver checkmate. Let's try that. Darn it. That was the right idea. What? Why wouldn't he go here or here? Obviously that... If I knew he was going to do that, then yeah. Alright, we got to throw this one into the analysis. What was his move? Hang on a second. What was his initial move? Oh, right. King up. So, how is that mate in a 3? Because let's see. We go here. That's all great. Well, why doesn't he go here? I know why he doesn't do that one, but this one seems to be the best one. Oh. Well, I totally wasn't seeing that. Now everything makes sense. We can learn from that. We can learn from that. If he would have just went here or here, I see how it would be checkmate now. We just won his queen. White to move. We have a queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, and a bishop. Our opponent has a queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, and 2 bishops. This one's not going to be easy, is it? Well, we have queen b3. Puts him in check. Looks like just a checkmate, honestly. That's still a checkmate. Still a checkmate. Nice.